Hello and welcome to the channel Fabrico. Today we're going to sew kids vest Vienna. It's a quilted kids vest, slightly elongated. It features a zipper, a stand collar and patch pockets on the front. The vest is lined and insulated. As usual, you can download the PDF pattern of the vest in the description box below the video. For the main fabric, we recommend using raincoat fabric such as Dewspo. For the insulation, we recommend using synthetic materials such as Alpolux or Isosoft. Fleece or velvet for further are suitable for lining, and also you'll need a detachable zipper. Let's get cutting. It's highly important to decade the fabric before cutting to prevent it from shrinking during sewing. We lay out the patterns on the fabric, observing direction of the grain line. It is indicated on the patterns, and trace the patterns along the contour. Do not forget to transfer all control marks onto the cutting pieces. So cut the pieces. After cutting, double-check the number of pieces according to the pattern pieces list. And do not forget to interface the pieces as indicated on the patterns. Let's get sewing, and we start with back preparation. Place the back piece on the insulation fabric, pin them together and stitch at 5 mm from the edge. Cut off the excess insulation. Mark the stitch lines using a ruler and chalk. Sew using the marked lines as guidance on the back. The front preparation. Place the front part on the insulation material, pin them together and stitch at 5 mm from the edge. Cut off the excess insulation. Mark the stitch lines using a ruler and chalk. Sew using the marked lines as guidance on the front. The pocket step. Interface the entrance to the pocket, extending 5 mm beyond the band. Press the top allowance of the pocket by 1 cm and by 2.5 cm, bending it to the wrong side. Stitch the corners of the top of the pocket and the lining, stopping at 1 cm from the edge. Turn the top cut of the pocket onto the right side and stitch it at 5 mm from the edge. Pin the pocket with the lining right sides together and overstitch it at 1 cm at the previously sewn corners, backstitch and move to the other side. Cut out the allowances, turn the pocket inside out and press it, making a 1 mm edging to the wrong side. Transfer the points for sewing the pocket from the buttons and make markings. Pin the pockets to the front details and stitch at 1 mm from the edge, keeping the needle down at the corners of the pocket and turning it 90 degrees to the other side. The vest assembling. Place the front and back pieces right sides together and pin the shoulder and side seams together, matching the quilting. Stitch. Carefully press the seams. Place the collar piece on the insulation material, pin together and stitch at 5 mm from the edge. Cut off the excess insulation. Place the neck and collar right sides together, pin and sew the collar to the neck. Press the collar, cutting the allowances at the curves of the neckline. Place the part of the windproof strip on the insulation, pin it together and stitch it at 5 mm from the edge. Cut off the excess insulation. Pin the top and bottom plackets right sides together and overstitch to 7 mm. Cut the excess along the curves and in the corner. Flip it onto the right side and press it. Top stitch along the placket and secure it at the edge by 5 mm. Let's proceed to the zipper. Steam the zipper first. Sew the left side of the zipper with the front side to the placket up to the notch, turning the top of the zipper at an angle and bending the placket along the notch onto the right side. Sew the zipper placket to the front, leaving 1 cm at the top and bottom for stitching. Fasten the zipper and move the points to the right side to align the stitch and collar. Pin the zipper to the second front, aligning the reference marks and stitch. Press the zipper. And finally, the lining. Pin the side and shoulder cuts of the lining. Stitch, leaving an unstitched opening in the left side seam. Press the shoulder and side seams onto the back. Press the loop at 3 mm from the edge and fold it in half. Top stitch at 1 mm. Mark 2.5 cm from the center of the back in both directions and stitch at 8 mm to the back. Pin the collar to the neck of the lining and stitch it. Press the collar seams. Sew the bottom of the lining to the vest by 7 mm and top stitch along the lining by 1 mm. Sew the lining collar to the vest and top stitch along the lining by 1 mm. Sew the lining to the zipper, pressing it down slightly. Cut out the corners at the top and bottom. Through the armhole, top stitch along the lining near the zipper. Fold the collar allowances of the lining and the vest and stitch them together as close to the seam as possible, aligning the control marks. Place the armhole and the lining right sides together, sew in circles. Cut along the curve and cut out the seams. Turn the vest onto the right side. Through the hole in the lining, top stitch at 1 mm along the armhole lining. Sew the side seam near the armhole and hem. Sew up the unstitched opening on the edge. Press the armhole onto the top of the stand. Top stitch at 7 mm along the armhole, along the bottom, moving to the zipper and the stand in a circle. Give the vest a final press.